But I think, in terms of the challenges, I kind of thought about it in three components, three parts. One was the practical aspects of setting up a clinic, then the financial aspects, and then the mental aspect. In a clinic, whether you have a private limited, sole proprietorship, partnership, what else? Lawyers, accountants, bank accounts, finding a clinic, getting a rent, getting tenancy agreements, those things, applying for a clinic license, to the minor detail like setting up letterheads, how you want to design your letters, how you want to make your clinic stamps, where to get them from. The financial aspects were quite challenging as well, because you have to get a sense of what your initial capital budget is, and that's not easy to do because you have to project, and that's not easy to do because you can't project for activity. So it's always going to be an estimate. You have to put aside a certain amount of capital and then put aside a certain amount of family savings as well for your family, understanding that maybe the first year or two will be quite challenging to set up independent private practice. Then the last aspect about mental challenges, now that was probably the hardest, because there's going to be a lot of self-doubt, there's going to be a lot of fear and uncertainty, but also it's very rewarding, because when things do happen and do click and do come together, you get a real sense of satisfaction. About 9 months after I started private practice, and things were starting to build up, and there were various things like inventory, outstanding payments, what else? I wrote a couple of things down, helping with improvements to clinic functions like stock taking, ordering investigations, how to chase outstanding payments, to other things like training a clinic assistant on simple things that perhaps I had no insight into. Medinex, you are particularly good at, your strengths are, I think, accounting, HR management. You have so much experience with clinic setup that you can see someone's processes like mine and really suggest some improvements. I'll give you an example, just a quick one if you don't mind. So I use the Plato clinic management system, which you guys are familiar with, and your colleague Iway could identify certain things that I perhaps wasn't doing correctly. So whenever I saw a patient on the ward, and whenever the sort of billing would go across the ELC, as it were, I wasn't recording that in Plato, I was just receiving the payment. So simple things like that and simple suggestions to improve the flow was really useful, and it's something that I never would have discovered myself. So tapping on the experience that Medinex has was very, very, very useful. And also with the outstanding payments that I had, she was able to track them and kind of chase payments, and we were able to reconcile quite a significant amount of money that was owed to us. So that was obviously another good thing. Actually, one other thing that you guys are really helpful with is applying for telemedicine licensing and any HR onboarding. So because of the experience that your team has as well, they were able to help us apply for a telemedicine license, which otherwise would have been quite painful for me, writing up the SOPs and knowing where to go. Yeah, thanks for the time to share, the opportunity to share my experiences.